to try and catch up your team. Then you just bounce between those portals when you get laid under some fire. As Falcons have just spotted, I think, all gamers on the northeast trying to scout round and see if Skyhook was available, and it could have been another battle here, but instead of it being for first and second, it could be for 20th or 19th.
And this is something you're going to see from Falcons a lot, by the way, here on World's Edge. The fact that they have all of Skyhook and Trials to themselves, that's why they've got 2 gold armors and a purple. It's just so much loot available for them. Any team that they go up against, they're usually going to have an early game armor advantage. And one thing I wanted to highlight here, this rotate through the tunnel is usually a little bit treacherous, and you can see how they were moving. They were very aware of what could be around them, but it's pretty clear that to actually move through to where this zone is going, not so clear though for AG.
AG find NoahsFox, and Falcons actually going to probably third party this, or at least take a look at it, so NoahsFox need to be careful.
And NoahsFox at the moment just retreating because rFaide has gone down. And it's going to be zapped with another kill to his name, or certainly the finish onto rFaide. And now NoahsFox have got to decide how they get around this situation, how they get his teammate back into the game. Falcons have a little poke at this, but they've got Team Orchid to deal with as well. So, sticky situation where they're trying not to put themselves in a pinch.
Orchid will retreat, or at least one of them is going to, so Falcons were able to hold off just a single player that was trying to step up, hearing all that commotion. Falcons might have to burn a few ultimates here, though, just to stay alive and maybe get aggressive.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good in this situation, but just as you think that, there's a team coming through that tunnel. And Walsey has to get that first knock and manages to do so beautifully there. Havoc controlled absolutely expertly in that situation to make sure that Orchid are forced back and Falcons can now get healthy.
Yeah, it was like an almost ambush attempt from Orchid just to leave 1 or 2 players onto the side, but Falcons, they were wise to it, didn't allow it, and now Falcons can take control of that tunnel and look to try and maybe move through and hold off any of those rotating teams from the previous fight.
Enemy over there.
So Orchid, of course, have Luxford down. And the worry for Falcons now is that they will know that Orchid are low. They've got that KP themselves, but they've got to worry about Wolves Esports positions up on that drill tower. However, they make this cross, we're in a great position to pepper them with damage. So Falcons have got some choices to make here, how they play. They don't have to do anything for this zone. And it looks like for now, the plan, watch our backs. Once we've done that, once we've cleared the likes of NoahsFox, who have moved to get the respawn in Skyhook, then they can look to hold it out. Now that we've got the opportunity to see what Falcons are doing, let's see what the comms are sounding like as we jump in to a Falcons listening.
I see one.
Well, we'll get Falcons on our audio in your ears as soon as we possibly can, but for now we're going to go back to the POV, and you can see that at the moment they're just keeping their head on a swivel. They want to make sure that nobody is rotating from their back and that they can just turn their attentions forward.
That zone is going to shift a little bit further towards Falcons as well. It's going to be on this eastern side. So I think they'll be delighted when they eventually realize it. Of course, they're not going to have any information right now. AG will also probably be pretty happy about that one, as Movistar will be our first team eliminated. It's taken quite a while here, but finally we see a team deleted, and maybe another one here as Edward Gaming will be under fire. They're taken down by Sentinels.
I was wondering when we were going to see a Devo. Well, Carter's got one, and he's got some KP to go alongside it. So the Devo stats starts to pick up in game number 2 here. Sentinels clearing out their low ground. Where that zone is pulling, very, very interesting as we see Na'Vi going up against Alcadzia here, and it looks like Na'Vi could not be long for this world. Jackal will be taken down, and Alcadzia will be able to hold, but they've got to be worried about Falcons now.
Made it to max level.
Actually, excuse me, this is the Vault Tunnel on the southern side of this zone. Falcons are absolutely fine, and Alcadzia as well will be fine.
They'll be fine, but they then have to go back into Landslide, which is currently heavily contested by the likes of Furia and Wolves, and remainder of Nemesis as well, as now Sentinels into another fight. You can see they've been able to get yet more damage onto a squad. Sentinels not scared of taking fights right now.
Interesting to see that Ninjas in Pajamas were actually pushing onto Fnatic in that fight. Sentinels were moving to try and third party to see if there was an opportunity, but NIP used their Void Nexus to get away, and now you're seeing exactly the same play from the side of Sentinels. Unfortunately for Fnatic, last player alive Alace will be taken down as Ninjas in Pajamas will pick up some more KP.
So a lot of teams now are going to start to try and worm their way into zone. Gen.G, NIP, Zero Tenacity have just moved in as well. They were all the teams that are kind of the late stragglers here. I don't know if any of them are actually going to force a fight. We might get a position where 16 squads are still left going into this next zone. Maybe one fight might occur on the south. Gen G potentially against Algancia and Team Nemesis.
Can we go to the point of view of Cannon if you have the opportunity? Because he was in the funniest position with that Sheila behind one of those walls just up on the height. But for now, we'll look at Gen G. More pressing issues ahead of us as Nemesis are feeling what that Devo can do. Ripping that wall down. But Nemesis do have that mobile shield available, and now Nemesis are going to send it onto them. Ninja Pajamas have been eliminated in the meantime. Gen G are down to 1. Asia feeling the power of Team Nemesis, and with the armor disadvantage, Nemesis will win that fight.
This was my worry down on the southern side, that Gen G would just spark all of this commotion. Now Fury are getting involved. Zero Tenacity is starting to arrive as well, and the devotions are very much in play here.
Manda's got to be careful here. Still one player alive somewhere or other here for Nemesis. Akaisha has been taken out. Zero Tenacity now moving in, like you say. And when you're looking at the armor disparity, well, you can't get much more than this at this point in the game. 2 reds and a purple here for Z10.
God, everyone wants in on this Madness on the south. Now Algancia are going to look into it. Nemesis do get eliminated. Fury are down to just 1 as Madness gets knocked down as well. But they do have the ability to go back into this truck. Maybe there's a reset chance. No, there isn't.
Fury will be eliminated. Algancia moving into Landslide to try and be the last team to essentially arrive in this position, wrap behind everyone and clear this southern side of the map out. We'll take a look at the replay in a few seconds of Ninjas in Pajamas and that fight where we saw them eliminated. Algancia now take that loot that was left by Furia.
They take that loot, they take that position, and they will control the majority of the south. Zero Tenacity being their main concern on the southwest. Everyone else is above the halfway point when it comes to north and south. So most of the fights now are going to occur on the northwest. You've got Maus, Noah's Fox, Sentinels, TSM, all have to get out of Countdown, and they're probably going to find a rough time of it as well.
E36 gathering some loot that was left over, and they will be safe on this blue crate for where this next zone is going, but there's going to be so much traffic around them. Algancia, by the way, amazing job from them to wrap to that southern side, be the last team to wrap. Keeping their eyes on that timer when the zone was closing to clear out that southern side, and now they have a walk-in if, and it's a big if, they can deal with Zero Tenacity. Now over towards Countdown, and this is going to be chaos as everybody has to leave. Jen trying to get the res behind the castle wall here as the Newcastle, excuse me, it was Duplex on the Newcastle. As Sentinels try and move in to finish off TSM, and Carter, no turbocharge on that Devo, but he doesn't need it.
Oh, they get eliminated from elsewhere though, and TSM will just about survive.
Second time in 2 games.
Realistically though, are they going to be pushed from the team above? How aware were they? It looks like TSM might get away with this.
Second time in 2 games that one player, and it's going to be Jen again, is left alive, and TSM are allowed to reset. So TSM, a slice of luck going their way. As Kinotrope up on that high ground were able to survive that fight and influence it. Algancia, by the way, been eliminated. We mentioned how they had to clear that side out, weren't able to do so.
Noah's Fox also go down, so 6 squads now remain. Falcons are currently hunting down the remainder of Maus on the north by the looks of it, and they should deal with it, and they will deal with it. So off screen, Maus just got eliminated, but it looks like Kinotrope are now aware of TSM's position here.
Sheila's thirsty. And TSM have got to be careful here, because if Cannon peaks with that ultimate, there is going to be an opportunity for him to do a huge amount of damage. By the way, did you see the loadout there for Cannon? Don't think he had much time to loot before they rotated. Had an alternator, no attachments, maybe even rezzed. Yeah, Kinotrope did res. So that's probably why.
Like the
Although Vox has got an RE45 and a mode check, so who knows?
We are going to see just Kinotrope very concerned about TSM, but reluctant. Oh, we see it!
The abduction, but Cannon gets away.
Cannon goes in, Cannon goes out. TSM, try as they might, they are just in such a precarious position right now. It's going to be so difficult for them to survive.
Panic's got that turbocharged Devo, so if anyone walks into his POV,
there's another
they
one.
are going to get shredded! And that's exactly what happens. They get the finish as well, and you're probably wondering, why finisher? Well, it means that they can't recall him through that Nexus that was down. TSM not only survived, but now start to thrive as well.
By the way, all the meanwhile, Falcons have taken the entire space in the middle of this zone, and they are very much favorites to win this thing, because Wolves, TSM, and Kinotrope all on the same side, and Falcons can watch over all of it, saying, come to us, is there anyone else?
Chance to pad a little bit of damage here. You saw Hal, by the way, nearly 2k damage already in this game. But the catwall now going down from TSM. They have moved in towards zone. But the mother load and the EMP coming in means that Kinnetroid will be destroyed. They will be eliminated, and Falcons do not want to let anyone on this side of the map.
And Falcons are so spread. They are just covering. They are pitching. It's just Wolves left.
It's just Wolves left, and look at this. Just so much space being controlled still by Falcons. The question is, did they use all of those ultimates to clear this space a little bit prematurely? And what have Wolves got to play with?
If Wolves can commit and maybe find a single player from Falcons, there is a chance here. You can see that Sparrow ultimate was close as well, and that could really make a difference. And they're so close to a Dark Veil as well. All the ultimates are nearly there for Wolves, which could make
They're not going to let it happen. Hal's swinging in here. Hal's got some good damage down. But Hal, in the meantime, has gone down, but he managed to take two with him. Don't have the last alive, does not get to survive, and Falcons will win game number 2 here at World's Edge.
It's a second place, it's a first place, and it's enough to make the crowd in the Gideon Arena erupt for their home team. And Falcons looking far better in the early stages of the tournament than they did at the ALGS Open.
Very, very impressive stuff from Falcons, and I want to just take it back. You think about how many teams rotated quickly towards that zone. Off of that first